Hi everyone, welcome back. Sorry it's been a while. I was asked about my favorite life moments, I guess. So I want to put a lot of thought into it, figure out what I want to say, what I want it to include. Um, Life moments, thankfully they did specify my best life moments, because life moments aren't always good. For example, December 2nd, 2005. That's the day I got hit by a car while I was walking down the road. And my neck issue stemmed from all that, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm actually planning on doing a video specifically talking about that accident. So, might take a little while to get to it, but I'm going to work on that. So, my favorite life moments really, like if you include stuff from my childhood, spending time with my friend Mike when we lived in a trailer park, and then both of us moved out to different towns, and I spent a lot of time at his place over the weekends, during the summers, stuff like that. But what I'm going to talk about today is something different. Back in 2007, that's right, 2007, 13 years ago now, I was working at a smoke shop. Technically, yeah, we sold cigarettes, stuff like that, but we had the VLTs, video lottery terminals. That's where most of our business came from. Anyway, while I was working there, someone came to work. I knew her because her and her boyfriend came in as customers. Her name was Lorraine. She came in and she started to work with us. So we hit it off. We became good friends and stuff, and she thought she had a friend that would be perfect for me because I was single. She knew that, obviously, and so she introduced me to someone at work. Actually, we were at work and she had her friend come visit, and we actually met at work. So she brought Heather with her. She knew Heather from her old job. She worked at Frenchie's. For those of you that may not be from around here, that don't know what Frenchie's is, it's a used clothing store. Heather and Lorraine, I guess, worked out back sorting through the clothes that came in. The, men's pants, women's blouse, stuff like that. They sorted it all out. But anyway, that's where they met. And Lorraine thought Heather and I would be perfect together. So she brought her into work one night. We ended up hitting it off. We talked, stuff like that, just joking around. I didn't really get a chance a whole lot to talk to her as much that night, because I believe that's the night I was cleaning the top of all the VLTs, like dragging a ladder around the store to clean. So, but like I said, we ended up hitting it off, and after a while, it wasn't that time, I think it was a couple visits after that. You have to forgive me, 13 years ago, my memory's not that great, so I ended up asking her to, why don't you come over to my place? We'll order a pizza. We'll watch a movie. I will be a perfect gentleman. I promised her I'd be a perfect gentleman. Don't worry about it. Nothing like that. And I had intended on being a perfect gentleman. I wasn't. But it turned out. It worked out. But I did have every intention of being a gentleman. So she came over, and I remember, it's gonna sound weird and corny, I guess, but I remember dates. People go on dates, they do this. It's been a long time since I've been on dates, so forgive me if things have changed. But everybody's nervous the entire time. Am I gonna get a goodnight kiss? Is that gonna happen? Am I gonna get that? Is she not into it? If he's not into it, whatever. So I remember saying to her, like, instead of going through all that, let's do our goodnight kiss at the beginning of the date. So we did. I honestly stole that from a movie. That's right. I stole it from Good Will Hunting, my favorite movie of all time. They had their goodnight kiss at the beginning of the date just to get it out of the way. I stole it from the movie. It's alright. I'm pretty sure she knows that now because I've made her watch that movie. But anyway, so we did. We had our first kiss at the beginning of the night, and we've been together ever since. I mean, we ended up spending like 2 or 3 nights together. That first date led to a few days. And then I had moved back home, so I was still living with my father and my stepmother at the time. So Heather ended up staying over. Once in a while we'd go to her place. She had her own apartment, little basement apartment, bachelor pad. We'd go over there, and after, it didn't take very long, honestly. I'd say maybe a month, maybe 2. We decided we're going to move in together. So her place was not big enough for us, and sure as hell wasn't going to have her live with my father and stepmother, right? So we started looking for apartments, which I found very daunting because honestly it was my first time ever looking for an apartment. It was, I'm not going to lie. And she had to do the driving all the time because I was petrified of driving. I'm not scared to admit it. I was scared. Like, I've had my learner's permit so many times, but I always back out the day of the test. So, we ended up finding a basement apartment in New Minas. It was a nice looking place, but we ended up only staying there a year because neither one of us liked it. We ended up moving in together June 1st, 2007. Now, keep in mind, we started dating March 2007. So we moved in together. By this time, I had left the smoke shop. I had left there. I was working at a convenience store, which came in handy because it was just actually down the road, like within walking distance, right? And I worked a lot of nights. Heather would come hang out at night because it was not. It was a 24-hour store, but you might see one customer all night. It was terrible. She'd come hang out, stuff like that. Then, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was August. She was pregnant. That's right. She was pregnant already. Valerie ended up being born March 2008. A year later. Honestly, it was 6 days away from a year that we started dating. Valerie was born 6 days before our 1-year anniversary. That's right. In 2008. Those are the 2 big life moments that I kind of made me who I am now. I believe I've talked about it before. If not, I will now. I had a problem. I had a big drug problem for a long time. Like off and on, I battled it for years and years and years. And I was doing quite a bit of cocaine at the time Heather and I got together. I'd have it delivered to the smoke shop, and I'll be honest, a couple times I'd have it delivered at work. I'd actually put it on the counter, like customers around playing the machines, and I'd put it on the counter. I didn't care. But anyway, it's not the point. I'm clean now. 2-3 months after Heather and I got together, I quit. That was it. I haven't touched it since. It's been 13 years. Last month, May, was 13 years since I've touched it. But anyway, it's not the point. I'm clean now. She really helped me. I don't think I would have been able to quit if it wasn't for her. My family liked her, obviously. I remember taking her over to my older sisters for Easter. We went to my mother's for supper, stuff like that. Obviously, I was living with my dad, so he knew her. Then I moved out. Then we found out she was pregnant, and I had always wanted a family. That's what I've always wanted. I didn't care about money, cars, or anything like that, but I always wanted a family. So I remember when she told me she was pregnant, we were saying like, we're gonna wait a few months before we tell anybody, and I think I lasted like an hour. I had to. Like, we went to my dad's, and my sisters were there. I don't remember if I asked them to be there or if they just happened to be there. So, but we told them, and everybody was all excited and stuff. And so, like I said, 2008, March came along, Valerie was born, I had my little baby. We didn't have a name picked out at all. Like, we thought she was going to be a boy for some reason. I don't remember why we thought that, but we thought she was going to be a boy. So we had a name picked out. We were going to name him Leland. Leland Malcolm Douglas Graves. That's right. After my grandfather, Malcolm Douglas. Leland was just because we both liked it. So, then in the delivery room, I remember being in there. I joke around with Heather all the time about it. We had no idea. A girl came out, and we like, shit, we need a girl's name. So we named her after someone Heather knew that passed away. Valerie Maxine. That's what that's from. Valerie Maxine, we named her after her. And that's after Valerie here. So, Valerie was born, and we were still in that basement apartment at the time. I remember that. I ended up leaving that convenience store, and then at this point I was working at a lotto booth. That's right, a lotto booth. That's all it was like lottery tickets. What a boring ass job that was. I remember I actually started working here the day after Valerie was born, or the day after that. I honestly don't remember. But then I ended up going back to the smoke shop like less than a year later. And then I ended up getting my license. That's right. I did end up getting my license because when I went back to the smoke shop, Heather was driving me to work and back. And I'd get off like 2, 3 in the morning. And she'd have to bring Valerie with her every night to pick me up. And it wasn't right. So I ended up getting my license so I could drive myself to work. And we ended up moving back in with Heather's mom and her boyfriend for a little while. But then they bought a house and we took over the apartment. But now we're in our own house. We bought a house because I got a new job. Got my credit up. But my big life moment is meeting Heather, having Valerie. Heather and I got married 2009, July 26th, 2009. I felt horrible about that, by the way, because we picked a date and everything. I knew that date sounded familiar, but we picked a date and I found out my older sister and her husband got married on July 26th. We got married on their anniversary, not even thinking about it, and to this day, I still feel bad about it a lot. But my mom goes on Facebook, happy anniversary to my daughter, and then my son, and anyway, if my sister is watching this, I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't think we intentionally picked that date because it was your anniversary. We felt bad about it, but I wish I could go back and change it, but I can't. And Heather and I did an outdoor wedding because no other one of us wanted this big, extravagant wedding. Nothing against those of you that did, that's fine. It just wasn't for us. Neither one wanted to do it. The smoke shop let me use their bingo hall. We used that for the reception. I remember Heather let me pick the wedding colors. I picked pink and black. As a wrestling fan, Bret Hart, pink and black. She let me do it. Like, the cake was pink and black, decorations pink and black. But anyway, it was a good reception. We had an outdoor wedding. It turned out to be the hottest day of the year. Like, holy hell, we were sweating a lot. We had a justice of the peace. We didn't get a minister, reverend, or anything. We got justice of the peace. Hot as hell. It was hot as balls. Like, holy shit. It was hot. You can see from the pictures, our eyes are usually very squinty trying to see because where the sun was. It was awful. We only had immediate family. We had my grandmother, her grandmother. Valerie slept during the entire wedding. She was asleep. We had my friend Mike that I grew up with. We consider him family, so he was there. My best man was my brother-in-law. His name's Mike as well, but it's a different Mike. Now, The maid of honor was Heather's friend Amanda, whom I dated when I was a teenager for 2 years. That's right. I met Heather when I was younger, and I didn't remember when I was a teenager because they've been friends for years and years. And then I went to King's Tech, which is a community college. I took business administration back in 2001. And Heather was there as well, taking horticulture. But it was a different part, so we probably seen each other, just didn't register anything. Which has nothing to do with what I'm telling you. It's just one of those weird things, right? Like, we met each other when we were teenagers. We went to King's Tech at the same time. Her dad is the one that ran me over with the car. That's right. I tell people that a lot, like, what happened to that guy that ran you over? I married his daughter. And people say, oh, he ran you over because you were with his daughter? No. I know that would be a funny joke. Actually, it wouldn't be kind of rude, but yeah, that'd be really fucking rude. Anyway, no. He didn't run me over because I was dating his daughter. Remember, I got run over in 2005. Heather and I got together in 2007. It's just one of those weird coincidences. He actually lived kind of down the road from where I was living at the time. You'll see, I plan on showing you the road I got run over on when I do that video, hopefully. But I was walking, he hit me. Anyway, I ended up marrying his daughter. It was weird. The first time we realized that he's the one that ran me over and I'm with her. It's kind of awkward. Anyway, it's just one of those weird, funny stories. People get a kick out of it, to be honest. The whole fact that my wife's father ran me over and he's the reason I broke my neck. And then get headaches every day. But as far as big life moments go, the thing I think about the most is meeting Heather. We started dating. She put up with my crazy ass. She lets me collect my stuff that I love. And then Valerie being born, that was like a dream come true for me. I always wanted kids. I've only got the one that I know of, but that was my dream come true. So that is my life moment. My happy place is here with them. That's right. It odd but true. I'm a married man that would rather spend time with my family than anywhere else. Like when I was off work for the surgery on my hernia, as much pain as I was in during that time, I was thrilled because I was home for 2 months. So hopefully that answers the questions of my favorite or the best life moments. We've been through a lot of Christmases together. We had Christmases together where we didn't have a lot of money. That's true. Like, we struggled quite a bit. As was probably evident when I said we had to move in with her mother and her boyfriend. We struggled a lot until I got full-time where I am. Because I started working where I am. Good money. But as a casual, you're not guaranteed to work. So, at one point, I actually went 2 weeks without a shift. So, all the struggling and her putting up with me and stuff like that, and dealing with that, now I want to spoil them. It's true, I do. I love buying presents at Christmases, birthdays, stuff like that. I really do. We don't surprise each other at Christmas because we go shopping together. So, I think a couple times she surprised me. I surprised her like once. I bought her Willow for Christmas a couple years ago. 3 years ago? 3 years ago now? Pretty sure it was 3 years, 3 Christmases ago. But anyway. So yeah, we've been through a lot of Christmases together. So, that's all. I just wanted to go through my favorite life moments. All the stuff we do together. We do everything together. Like camping, everything we can. I mean, we don't do a whole lot. I'm not going to lie. Our goal someday is to actually have an actual vacation and a honeymoon. Heather and I never had a honeymoon. Partly, like, we couldn't afford it. And when I was working at the smoke shop, we got married when I was working at the smoke shop, right? We didn't get vacation times or anything like that. I had to, like I said, I'd left, I went back. Now, when I went back, they came to me because I was working at the lotto booth. And the assistant manager started calling me, asked me if I'd meet with them and think about coming back, so I did. And one of the things I said, like, I need a week off in the summer because I'm getting married. That's the only way I got a week off. I actually stated that before I agreed to come back. So I had a week off, and a little bit of that was getting ready for the wedding. Then had to go back to work after we got married, so we never got a honeymoon. And hopefully someday, like, that is my next goal, really, is go on an actual vacation. Just Heather and I to get the honeymoon we never had. But I can honestly say, 42 years old, almost 43, and I'm happy. My personal life, I think, for me, is great. Can't get much better than what I have right now. Hopefully she feels the same way. But I hope this answers your question about life moments. And I would love to hear about yours. I really would. For all of you that have actually watched this video and indulged me in these stories, thank you very much. Remember to like. Thanks to those of you that have subscribed. Share this around if you want to. Till next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.